From the first bell to the last stand, this is for every fan who loves it. I am Dr. Love, and this is Aaron Love's Wrestling. Yeah! Turn the lights on, hear the crowd ignite. Heartbeat pounds on a Friday night. From the territory days to the modern age, every ring's a war, from every match to every stage. I grew up on legends, I learned to believe in heroes, villains, the blood, and you can see the love I have. It is all on my sleeve, from Dusty Rhodes to Bright Marquee. Wrestling is in my blood, there's no hate in me. Hear the roar when the music hits, goosebumps when the champion appears. Every style, every fight, every ring, one love for the business. I am here to bring the love and the passion in every review. Aaron loves wrestling. AEW, WENWA, New Japan, TNA. It doesn't matter about the brand, I love it all. Aaron loves wrestling. My heart is in the ring. No walls, no wars, just the passion for the business that I bring. Aaron loves wrestling. Fire, one world, one voice, taking us higher. AEW, Monday Night Raw to Friday Night SmackDown, Saturday Night Main Event under the neon lights. And NXT has the rising stars. The future is looking pretty bright. Dreams get built in every fight. From Wednesday Night Dynamite to Saturday Night Collision, New Japan battles hearts on fire. From the Tokyo Dome to Arena, Mexico, in every zone, every style's a kingdom, every ring is a throne. Give away to AEW, every New Japan pride. TA line on the way, AEW, on the road. Different banners with the same love and passion pounding in us all. Aaron loves wrestling. Every brand, it doesn't matter about the three letters. From the local hall to the global star. Oh my God, that sound. When the essence hits, we are all ready to start. Aaron loves wrestling. Side by side. No tribal lines, just love for the business worldwide. This is wrestling. This is wrestling. Cuddy fights for the dreams of us all in red, white, blue. Hangman doesn't stay down, he is always fighting for redemption. Mox bleeds for the business, bringing out the passion in us all. Okada is the rainmaker, the money rains down with every title reign. Cena's never giving up the fight. Fear strikes in the heart of man when Undertaker appears. Sting is the vigilante that every villain fears. Legends will always be remembered, they never retire in our hearts. They will live on forever. From Flair to Michaels, from Hogan to Cena, from Omega's rise to acknowledging reigns. Different paths but the same damn ring, same damn love for professional wrestling. Say it loud, I love wrestling. Say it proud, I love wrestling. No hate, no tribalism, just love for the business until the end of time. No, the war goes on your chest. If you love this business, then you're the best. No keyboard warriors, no hate, no lies. Just respect when the warriors rise. From the curtain rise to the final pin, we all are chasing that moment when the bell rings. It's more than title belts, it's more than glory. It's our love for professional wrestling in every story. So pull your hearts up, it's all one love. Every fan's got a place. From every city to every nation, we're united by a love for professional wrestling. Aaron loves wrestling. Hear the crowd with every chant, every heartbeat, and with every tear. Aaron loves wrestling. This is our life. From the rise of a hero to the falling of wrestling. I'll never end. American Cowboy will...
How's it going on, my wrestling lovers and Loves Wrestling podcast here? And I'm your host, Dr. Love himself, A.A. Ron, and I'm here to talk about AEW Dynamite and Collision. Doing a 2-1 to get it in. Been a busy week for me. Doing Monday Night Raw watch along, the Monday Night Raw and SmackDown review, the NXT review, the TNA Impact review, the SmackDown review yesterday or Saturday, and then the Jaguars watch along yesterday, which unfortunately ended on a sad note, but do it again next year. Now I'm getting in my Dynamite and Collision review, and then hopefully to have Raw review on Wednesday as well due to my work schedule. I'm on a graveyard, so I won't get these reviews in on my late nights as I can after my family goes to bed. So for those of you who are awake and are with me, thank you. And if you catch this at a later time, because I know it's early/late, well, I appreciate it as well. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, and that hype button. Help me get up that algorithm. If you love professional wrestling just as much as I do, then you will follow me and subscribe, and we will talk about wrestling together. I am in this to share the positivity and love of professional wrestling. Even though I may criticize some things, I'm still going to be positive about professional wrestling. That's just me. But let's get into this Dynamite review. First off, I want to point out that we have a new stage setup. This is the new setup for AEW Dynamite. They got rid of the tunnels. We got the big screens. I, for one, am bittersweet about this because I do like the tunnels. I miss TNA having the tunnels. I like that AEW brought them in, so I do like the tunnels. This is all right setup, but it just feels bland. It feels like what WWE does. They got just the big screens and that's it. I miss the stage setups, the unique stage setups that we used to have back in the day. I mean, you had the SmackDown Fist setup, Raw's unique setup, and then TNA's unique setup. TNA at one point had opposite tunnels where heels came out on one side and faces came out on the other. Then they put it on one stage or side by side, kind of like AEW did. Oops. 1 second here. Okay. And then you had AEW do the same thing when they debuted in 2019, and then they had it for a while, took it away, brought it back, and now they have taken it away. So I know it's not too big of a deal, but I like unique stage setups where it makes the brands and even companies feel different. But when they do this big screen setup and that's it, it just feels lazy and it feels really bland to me. But that's just my opinion. I like something unique, something different. And I know it's just a stage setup, but when we had the different stage setups, especially for the pay-per-views and having something different, a theme setup for the pay-per-view, that's what I miss in professional wrestling as a whole. But again, not too bad for Dynamite. Nothing just really like, oh, this is garbage and I'm gonna stop watching. It's just a stage setup, but just giving my opinions on that because I would like some unique stage setups for either company and for each brand. But that's just me. So let's get into this Dynamite review. We had a great AEW Dynamite on Wednesday. And we had a great card stacked up, and it was great to see Jim Ross return there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. You know, JR is a good old Oklahoma boy, Sooner proud, and even though he's Boomer Sooner, gonna have to disagree with that. Hook 'em horns. but I love JR, and he's the best commentator in the professional wrestling business to me. He's the best commentator uh, of all time. He will always be my favorite commentator of all time, and I love JR. He always brought the intensity, the emotion, the drama, and everything into the match, and he still continues to do so at the age he's at. And so I have high respects and love JR. Will always love JR, and I miss him being on any wrestling show every day of the week. But I'm glad that he gets on. He is on AEW Dynamite for Wednesday night. So this was really cool that he came out. They introduced him. He had that Boomer Sooner theme, and again, hook 'em horns. But it was great to see good old JR on AEW Dynamite. We kick off the show with Jon Moxley versus Shelton Benjamin in the elimination at Continental Championship Eliminator match. And this was a really great match and a great way to start off the show. This was a really great match. Moxley and Benjamin, they engage in hard hitting, back and forth battle in the ring. They did several near falls and fought outside the ring, inside the ring, and just Shelton Benjamin, Jon Moxley hit out the park from the get go and kicked off AEW Dynamite strong. So this was a great way to kick off Dynamite with these two. I love Jon Moxley and I love Shelton Benjamin. Shelton Benjamin was involved in one of the first matches I ever watched with Shawn Michaels. So I love this match. Great match by these two guys. Give this a good solid A for this match. Jon Moxley defeats Shelton Benjamin with the pin. But again, great match. And at the end, Jon Moxley, Shelton Benjamin showed each other respect. And that was it. So then we get a 6-man tag team match with Jack Perry. He was supposed to originally team up with Jet Speed, but you had the Don Callis family attack Jet Speed. And with the debut of Jack Doyle, which is formerly known as Jake Something, which he was in TNA. And I'm going to say, I literally thought when I first saw him, I thought he was Mark Davis's twin brother. I mean, to be honest, because he looked really close. I mean, they look really close together. Like they are really close looking. Like they look like brothers. So when I first saw that, I was like, man, Mark Davis got a twin. But then they announced Jake Doyle, and then when they shared it, I was like, hey, that's Jake something. So it was great to see him and AEW. And honestly, the Don Callis family, in my opinion, is a good fit for him, especially starting out. And eventually he can branch out into his own unique single star. So it was great to see. It's great to see Jake Doyle in AEW. And him and Mark Davis will be a good tag team. Like I said, they look similar. And they got this similar build. So it'll be good to see. It'll be good to see them team up in AEW, and then we'll get to see them have a great tag team run, maybe, and go for the tag team titles, or maybe even Ring of Honor tag team titles. But the tag team division AEW needs some more teams. We got FTR. There's Jet Speed. The Bandido is up in the air. I mean, I see them helping each other here and there, but I don't think they're going to be solid in the tag team division, or at least for the titles anyway. And then you got the Gates of Agony. So you got some tag teams, but adding Mark Davis and Jake Doyle will be a solid addition. So with Jack Perry, you had the Demand come out first. Then Jack Perry came out, and he has this little smirk on his face. And then you heard Super Kick Party. So we got the old school Young Bucks back, the baby faces, Super Kick Party, which was great to see that again. Great to hear that theme again. So it's really good to see all that stuff back. It really is. And They kind of branched off from Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega is going to go focus on the AEW Men's World Championship. You got the Young Bucks now teaming with Jack Perry while Luchasaurus is out. So we're going to probably get Jack Perry and the Young Bucks in trios action and for the trios titles. I can see that happening. They compete for the trios titles, maybe even win the trios titles. So that was really, really good on really good to see the Young Bucks back and teaming up with Jack Perry. And this time as baby faces. This was a really great match, fast, high-paced match, and then but in the end, you had the baby faces win. Jack Perry, the Young Bucks, come out with the victory over the Demand. And so it was really, I really like this match here. It was a good, solid match. Give it a good B, but really good, solid match. But here is my match of the night here with Bandido and Sammy Guevara. Bandido and Sammy Guevara put on a fantastic match. I mean, Jon Moxley and Shelton Benjamin put on a great one as well, but for me, the match of the night was Bandido and Sammy Guevara. These two put on a fantastic match, in my opinion. I love this match. Good one-on-one action, lucha style based, and them going back and forth. And honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing Sammy Guevara. I really wouldn't mind seeing him go back for that TNT title, or maybe even for the Continental or International Championship. But honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing him win that Ring of Honor World Championship, and he'd be Ring of Honor World Champion and defeat Bandido for it. And then we can see Bandido move up and compete for the TNT or International, whatever. I'd like to see Sammy Guevara pushed in AEW again. He was really big back in the day. He was in the AEW Men's World Title picture. He was TNT champion a few times, and he had great runs with the TNT title. But I would really like to see him back in that picture again and not being used on the Ring of Honor. I mean, it's not too bad for Ring of Honor, but to me, Ring of Honor is the developmental brand, like NXT is to WWE. And Sammy Guevara doesn't need to be in there. Sammy Guevara needs to be on the main roster on Dynamite or Collision, competing for the TNT title, International title, Continental title, or just being some kind of storyline feud instead of being on Ring of Honor. That's just my opinion. But he had a great match here with Bandido. Bandido got the win with the 21 plex finishing move. And then out comes MJF, and he talks to Bandido, and then whoever forgot who that was next to MJF, but he got involved, and then he held on to Bandido at one point while they took the Dynamite Diamond Ring because MJF said that was his originally, and he held that Dynamite Diamond Ring for a long time. I even forgot about it at one point because they never had a battle royale for it again. So hopefully they can continually to have this back as a ongoing thing instead of doing it now and then forgetting about it until later when they want to use it again. So hopefully we can just see this Dynamite Ring Battle Royale a yearly thing, so that way you can see more winners, and instead of just like I said MJF and holding on to it for how long, and like I said, it got forgotten, forgot about it. So that was a really good segment there, building up for the AEW Men's World Championship match this Wednesday on Maximum Carnage, which hopefully I'll be doing a watch along. But we'll see. If not, I'm definitely going to be doing a review after the show when I watch it. But it was a great segment. I would love for Bandido to win. And I said this before, Bandido winning and becoming the AEW Men's World Champion and Ring of Honor World Champion. Literally being the most wanted champion. That's his thing, right? He's the most wanted champion. So seeing him winning the AEW Men's World title and holding both world titles in AEW, Ring of Honor World Championship and AEW Men's World Championship, that would literally live up to the hype of the most wanted champion. So, but pretty sure it's not going to happen. Pretty sure it's not going to happen. So we'll see. So then moving on, we get the Tony Storm versus Marina Shafir one-on-one match, which I enjoyed, especially Marina Shafir doing the mockery of the dancing. I thought that was a pretty uh, cool thing there. But uh, Tony Storm won by disqualification. They had uh, isn't a disqualification, and Tony Storm won the match. Uh, I'd like to see more women's storylines and matches on AEW. Having one or two here and there, I'd like to see more. I mean, on Raw last week, it was basically all women's ladies' night out. You had the WWE Women's Tag Team title match. You had the Women's Intercontinental title match, one-on-one match with Liv Morgan, Lyra Valkyria, and then the men ended the show. But I'd like to see AEW step up, adding more women matches on the card for Dynamite and Collision, especially the pay-per-views. So Tony Khan, I really would like for more women matches to be involved on these cards. Although I love watching all the men and everything, but there's some great women down in AEW on the women's roster, and just seeing them put on the card more and in more serious storyline feuds. I mean, you had Brian May and Tony Storm had a great storyline feud, which in my opinion could have main evented AEW Revolution, but it didn't. But they had a phenomenal feud and a great match, the Hollywood ending. So if we can have more feuds like that in AEW with a lot of these women, I think it would be great. That's one of my big critiques about Tony Khan and AEW is that women are as involved as much as they should be. They get involved with some matches here and there, some one-offs, but getting involved as much as they should be, I think Tony Khan needs to do better at step up, in my opinion. Same thing for the trios division. Honestly, I could be okay with getting rid of the trios titles. They're not as important anymore, and they're just randomly thrown around. I mean, when was the last title defense for the trios world titles? Last I remember, I attended the show. It was Dynamite in Houston on November 5th. That's the last time I remember these trios titles being defended. When are we going to see them defended again? When are we going to see new champions? A lot of people talk about some of the WWE talent who are champions and haven't defended the titles in the X amount of days, but what about these trios titles? So let's start calling this out. If there's nothing, if they're not going to be involved in any kind of way or seriously involved in any kind of way, then get rid of them, retire them. There's no need for them. It's just a waste of space. There's not that many factions, in my opinion, to continue on with the trios titles. I don't want to see random teams thrown together or random factions. So let's get rid of the trios titles. There'll be less titles on the show. Hold on to the tag titles. Focus on the tag team division. You can have factions and everything, and have 6-man matches. But if you're not, if we're going to have all these 6-man matches, why aren't we having any trios championship matches? We had the Jack Perry and the Young Bucks versus the Man, and then on Saturday Night Collision, we'll talk about here in a minute, you had 2 trios matches. So where are the trios titles at? Where are all the trios titles at? My opinion, the trios title should be retired and done away with. Shouldn't be a thing anymore. But back to my point about the women, I would like to see the women involved more in AEW. More women matches, more not just random 8-man, 6-man, 10-man tag team matches, one-on-one matches, serious storyline feuds, and the women's titles be taken more seriously and more prestigious. Having an all women's pay-per-view, which I have suggests the idea of calling it the All Elite Women's Pay-Per-View, AEW. Make that a yearly thing. So it's something that that I have had some critique about with AEW and Tony Khan. Then moving on, we had the Lights Out tag team match with Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland versus Hook and Powerhouse Hobbs. This was a good match, but one of my biggest things that I did not like, and it kind of made me not watch the match for a little bit because I don't know, it just was hard to watch and see and keep up with. Was in the beginning of the match. Yes, I know this was a lights out match, but with them turning the lights out, having the spotlight randomly on the wrestlers here and there, and I know it was just hard to keep up with. And honestly, it kind of tuned me out. I hope they never do that again. Lights out match, lights out tag team match, and this whole thing about they're not being responsible for what happens or held accountable. I'm not a big fan of. It makes no sense to me. You're having a AEW, you're having AEW. So if anything happens with these four competitors, yes, Tony Khan, AEW, you are responsible. You are held accountable. So just making a no DQ match, false count anywhere tag team match, something. But the lights out thing, and they're not being held accountable or reliable for anything that happens between all the men in the match, I disagree with. And I didn't like, and I especially didn't like the lighting at the beginning of the match. And eventually, I think they finally caught on. And maybe Tony Khan saw some of the complaints online and was like, all right, put the lights on. And then they did. And then it made the match more enjoyable to watch. So I just hope that never happens again, in my opinion. But this was a great match overall. Really great match. You had Hangman and Swerve Strickland. They're a great team. They're a great duo together. If they're not going to be involved in the AEW Men's World Title picture, but I really believe they will. But they're not going to be involved in the AEW Men's World Title picture heavily because we already kind of seen it at World's End. Then I would like to see them compete in the tag team title division along with all the other teams and maybe even win the tag team titles. And you can see them as tag team champions. That's what I'd like to see. That'd be pretty cool, seeing them team up and win the tag team titles. But it was good to see them team up here in this match against Hook and Powerhouse Hobbs. And in the end, it was they had some great spots in this match. One of my favorites was the when Hangman had the chain around Hook's neck, and then he held up Hook for Swerve's kick that he did, and then Swerve held up Hook for the buckshot lariat, which is the best in professional wrestling. Then Hangman grabbed Hook and choked him out by the chain, just like he did with Jon Moxley at All In, and Hook tapped out, and the ref had to get Hangman off, and that was it. That's how it ended. So great Dynamite. It was great to see Jim Ross back. The stories that we had with Bandido and MJF leading up for their AEW Men's World Championship match at Maximum Carnage. Tony Storm and Rena Shafir and the storyline feud and the conglomeration and the Death Riders. You had some storyline there with Jungle Jack Perry and Young Bucks against the Demand. So we had that going. So it was a great, really good show for AEW. I enjoyed it. It was really fun. So let me know your thoughts. What do you think about AEW Dynamite? Well, we're moving on to Collision here. Great card here. Really love this match right here, or this card. But it's a really great card in my opinion. It's kicked off with Death Riders, Daniel Garcia, Pac, and Really Yuta going up against Skyflight, Scorpio Sky, and Top Flight, which I enjoy. Skyflight, they're a great trios team. And this was talking about a second ago. The trios titles, why aren't Skyflight involved in that winning the trios championships? Even the Death Riders. And now that you got Jungle Jack Perry teamed up with the Young Bucks, they got some trios there. It's just why aren't the titles defended more? The titles haven't been defended in a couple of months. Why are we not seeing enough title defense? Has Tony Khan forgotten about these trios titles? Has he forgotten they're even on this roster? I mean, we haven't seen a national heavyweight, AEW National Heavyweight Championship that he introduced a couple months ago. We haven't seen a title defense for that in a minute. In my opinion, they can get rid of the National Heavyweight title and the trios titles. It is just too much. The good old saying, quantity over quality. Well, this is where it's at. Or quality over quantity. Sorry. This is where it's at. We can get rid of the AEW National Heavyweight Championship and get rid of the trios titles because they're obviously not being, I wouldn't even say focused on, but at least something. So with these trios matches and these trios teams we keep having, let's add the trios title defenses. Put the trios on a team like Skyflight. Have them defend against Death Riders. Have them defend it against even like Shane Taylor promotion, the Ring of Honor. Call them up. I mean, they're the Ring of Honor 6-man tag team champions, and I ain't even seen those defended on Ring of Honor in a while. Not that I can recall. So why don't we just get rid of these 6-man and trios tag team championships and let's focus on the tag team division and adding these. They can remain a faction. They can remain a team. But let's have we can get focused on the tag team division and they get some of the singles superstar out of the group. Focus on the singles title, like the international title, the TNT title, or even the national heavyweight title if we don't have it. But Ricochet won that national heavyweight championship a few months ago and has defended, I think, twice, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 3 times. So where's the focus on the national heavyweight title, that new title that you just introduced, ripping off the NWA National Heavyweight Championship, in my honest opinion. But where is that? I just would like to see something more out of that. If you're going to bring it in, then let's see some title defenses. Let's see the title change hands. Let's see the trios titles back in a serious feud for the titles, a storyline feud, and let's see, or even a tournament, really. I mean, FTR won the AEW Men's Tag Team Championships. Where have they been? Where have they been? We saw them cut a few promos here and there, but where's the title defenses? I want to see some title defenses. But this is a great way to kick off the show with the 6-man tag team match and seeing Zeta Steel a part of Skyfight now with Layla Gray out due to injury. They added Zeta Steel, which I still don't believe is under contract, by the way, which I'm sure she'll get one soon. We'll see the little graphic and she's all elite. And if so, then I'd like to see her and Marina Shafir face off, because seeing them go face-to-face in the ring Saturday night, it really made Zeta Steel look pretty big and a part of this AEW roster. So I'd like to see her involved more, and maybe we can even get the TBS. We're involved with the TBS title eventually, or maybe the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. There's another title that has been long forgotten, as Tony Khan has got lazy with, is that Ring of Honor Women's Championship with Athena. But this was a good match here, in my opinion. It's a great, really good way to kick off the show. And, it was high-flying action, intense from the get-go. You had the Death Riders defeat Skyfight in the end. And then again, you had Zeta Steel and Marina Shafir kind of have an interaction there. And then comes out of nowhere Megan Bain and then attacks Zeta Steel. And then we can have that match too. Zeta Steel had a feud with Megan Bain. So, but this was a really good match in my opinion. We had a little squash match next with Brody King and Barrett Brown. It was okay. Brody King came out and gave it and had a match, but it was okay. Nothing really to talk about here. Just a random match thrown on the card. That's another thing. Just throwing these random matches. I mean, look at the card right now. This was the card advertised before the show, and then just out of nowhere, Brody King gets a match on the show for like 3 minutes. It just wasn't needed. We had El Colon versus Commander, which was my match of the night. This match was phenomenal. This was great. And I love El Colon. I don't care what anybody says. El Colon I'm a huge fan, and I'm glad that he's a part of the roster. I like the little thing he does where it's like the hologram, but he turns it to the side. So I'm a big fan of El Colon. Glad that he is a part of the AEW division or AEW team, and I'm glad that he brought him up. I read online that hologram injury was supposed to last until January. So we should probably see him return soon, I'd imagine, and then we'll get the feud finally between El Colon and Hologram, which was supposed to happen to bring in El Colon, with Hologram going out with this injury. Injuries happen, part of the business. It kind of pushed that back. So, but in my opinion, it gave some time for El Colon to breathe and to work his way up on the roster. So now when we have this feud, it will be a lot better in my opinion, because you have El Colon more established on the roster and a part of the Don Callis family. So I love it. I really do. I'll get me one of his shirts. They're pretty cool. But again, these guys had a phenomenal lucha style match. Great athleticism between these two men. And I could watch this match over and over again, honestly. This match was great. El Colon wins and defeats Commander. Another victory for El Colon. Again, my match of the night for Collision. Match of the night for Dynamite was Sammy Guevara and Bandido, and then now you got El Colon and Commander for Collision. After that, we had Mina Shirakawa facing Lady Frost in a quick, pretty much squash match, in my opinion. Feels like another filler match on the show. Mina Shirakawa won, and then somebody gave her flowers, and so we'll see who that is. Some are saying Orange Cassidy. But afterwards, we had the Mark Briscoe and Hechicero match. This match was really great as well. This had to be my second favorite match of the night. These two put on a phenomenal match for the TNT Championship. Mark Briscoe, as we all predicted, successfully defended the title and is still your TNT champion. But we'll see who steps up and faces Mark Briscoe and wins that TNT title off of him, which he had. Don Callis cut a promo, and then Kyle Fletcher comes up, and he starts talking about the screwdriver deal that happened in the Continental Classic tournament at World's End. Their screwdriver was originally supposed to be for him, but then Okada got it. Excuse me, y'all. But Okada got it and then used it on Konosuke Takeshita to win his match. And then later when Kyle Fletcher went for it to use against Jon Moxley to win, it wasn't there. So that kind of distracted him and cost him the match. And then you had Don Callis basically tell him that, he didn't want him in the Continental Classic anyway. He wanted him focused on the TNT Championship, win that TNT title back for the Don Callis family. I say move Kyle Fletcher on from his TNT title. He's already been there, done that, and elevated the title, in my opinion, and it's really shown that he can carry himself with the championship. Let's move him up to the AEW Men's World Championship. Let's have him in the mix with that. Have him in the mix with that with Kenny Omega and MJF and Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland. Kyle Fletcher is ready, so let's have him get involved in that. I still would like to see Kyle Fletcher versus Will Ospreay all in London for the AEW Men's World Championship. Will Ospreay can win it. Kyle Fletcher can win it. Will Ospreay returns in the Owen Hart Cup tournament, wins the tournament, and then challenges Kyle Fletcher for the AEW Men's World Championship. It could still happen with MJF, but seeing Fletcher and Ospreay go at it again, especially there in London, I think it'd be great. But great match by Briscoe and Hechicero. Solid B for me on that one. Then you had a 6-woman tag team match with Chris Statlander teaming up with the Babes of Wrath. That's right, the champions have teamed up, and they going up against Hyatt and Maya World, the newly signed tag team, which they're great in my opinion, and Vert Vixen. And Vert Vixen was it's a great talent as well. Maybe she'll get signed and be a part of the AEW team, possibly even a Ring of Honor. But she had a great showing in this match, and so I'm hoping that will lead to a contract signing. Winners, of course, Chris Statlander and the Babes of Wrath. After the match, we had a Tekla little promo there to hype up their match happening at Maximum Carnage with the Sisters of Sin or Triangle of Madness, whatever you want to call them. With Tekla, Julia Hart, and Sky Blue going up against Chris Statlander and the Babes of Wrath. So we'll see. Wait, are they facing Chris Statlander, Babes of Wrath, or is it somebody else? Pull up that card here. Yep, Chris Statlander, Babes of Wrath against Triangle of Madness this Wednesday on Maximum Carnage. So that's going to be a great match. After that, you had the main event, the Demand, Ricochet, and Gates of Agony go up against Jet Speed and Anthony Bowens. Really good match here. Great 6-man tag team match. Really good, I'd say. Really good 6-man tag team match. Which the women's match, excuse me, let's get back to that. The great women's match, I give that a good C+. Not bad match, but good C+ in my opinion. And then same for here for the Demand and Jet Speed and Anthony Bowens, good C+. Good match, another trios match, a 6-man tag team match, whatever you want to call it. And you had, in the end, the Demand win, which they could go and win those trios titles, in my opinion. Why not? Again, another emphasis on the trios championships to make them relevant and on TV. But you had the Demand win over Jet Speed and Anthony Bowens, and after the match, you had a big brawl, which included Don Callis' family. Then out came Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, Mark Briscoe, and even Max Caster, which kind of stuff. They're still building up that Acclaim official reunion, which could also be a part of the AEW Men's Tag Team title picture. So, a chaotic way to end the show. Way different than the show that I attended, but I'm planning to go back on January 24th, so that's going to be cool. See, going back to Collision again. So, a great way to end the show. We also had tonight, I wanted to point out the Mercedes Moné little video package, the little promo. And she's basically going to go away for a while after losing the TBS Championship. She's going to go away. She still holds all those other titles, so maybe she's going to go and defend those titles and drop those titles. But she's going to go away, and she basically said that she's going away, and you'll realize just how bad the AEW Women's Division needs her. And then when she does, once we realize that, then she'll come back. I really like that I really like Mercedes Moné. I don't want to see her go away at all. That's just my opinion. But she is. She's taking a little break. Maybe it's for a wedding with her and Beast Mordos. I don't know. Maybe not. But this was a great Collision. Dynamite Collision were pretty good this week. It wasn't like a banger show, but it was good. It was a good show. We'll see what we will see about Maximum Carnage coming up this Wednesday. You got Maximum Carnage Dynamite, Maximum Carnage Collision coming up. So we'll see about that one. We'll see if the title changes hands at all. Probably not. It's probably not going to happen. But in the end, Dynamite Collision past week, pretty good shows, solid shows. But on AEW, there's a lot of things I would like to see different in 2026. We're a couple weeks in 2026, and although they were really great last year, in my opinion, my favorite promotion of the 2025, my promotion of the year, Tony Khan was really good with the storytelling and the matches and everything. So I would like to see that momentum keep going in 2026 and generate more viewers, generate a bigger crowd. I mean, I've seen some AEW fans on X ever since I've been sharing some positivity about TNA Impact, which I can't wait for the AMC debut this week, which I'll be doing the watch along for. They're talking about like TNA doesn't hold a candle to AEW. They don't stand a chance. And yes, you can give credit to AEW selling out some international arenas, and especially All In a couple years ago at 80,000 plus for All In London. But then the All In London in 2024, it went down. It wasn't 80,000. That was 50,000, if I'm not mistaken. And then last year for All in Texas, which was also a great show, it was 20,000 plus. Originally it was 25,000, then it went down a few thousand, so it was 20,000 plus at least. So you go from 80,000 to 20,000 plus. It's a huge drop. And AEW, in my opinion, needs to step it up with some storytelling, some superstars. Stop focusing on all these dang on titles. Get rid of a couple of them and have some serious storyline feuds. I love watching the matches. The wrestling matches are great. The tournaments are great. But let's see some serious storytelling going on in AEW. Tony Khan said it on John Alba interview a few weeks ago. You don't have to sacrifice some great wrestling matches for some storytelling. No, that is true. But let's see something more meaningful that will attract more viewers to the show. I would like to see AEW progress in 2026 and gain more viewers and gain more attendance. I would like to see them sustain themselves. I would like to see them stay on HBO Max or stay on a credible streaming platform so that way we can watch them. But if they don't generate those uh, ratings and attendance, although a lot of people say they don't care, I personally don't care. I'm going to watch them on it, whoever they go to, whatever streaming platform or cable network they go to. But in the end, if they drop to something like Access TV or Destination America, something like that, then that's not good. That is not good. And as an AEW fan, you just gotta be honest with yourself about it. I love AEW. They have great wrestling matches. I enjoy the wrestling matches, and many other AEW fans enjoy it. But if you don't attract that revenue, then the network company is not going to keep you. They're not. Uh, we've seen it happen with WCW. We've seen it happen with TNA before in the past when they went from Spike down to Destination America and Access or whatever other uh, cable network they went on, or not cable. Yeah, cable. And it's just we need to see something to where uh, we have more fans attracted to AEW. So that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. If you're an AEW fan, you hate on me about this because I'm being honest and about the show, then or about the company, then hate on me. Okay, I'm here to love professional wrestling, but you also gotta be honest and give honest reviews and critique of the shows. And you gotta realize not everything's with sunshine and rainbows. Uh, you want to really close the gap to WWE? AEW has not closed the gap to WWE. I don't care what anybody says. They have not. It is nowhere close. Nowhere close. When you have AEW Dynamite getting 2 to 3,000 in an arena, and you have WWE on Raw or SmackDown get 8 to 10,000 plus, that's not closing the gap. That's not closing the gap at all. And then when you have AEW Dynamite, yeah, sell an international crowd with 10,000 plus. That's cool. But let's do that here in the States. AEW hasn't done that. Not since 2021-ish when CM Punk came in. AEW needs to get back on track, which they have. They've take a step in the right direction in 2025. So in 2026, we continue that momentum and keep building, keep climbing. And let's not lose ratings. Let's not lose viewers. Let's not lose fan attendance. Let's gain them. Let's get more. Because I love AEW. I do. And I want to see them around for a very long time. I don't want to see them go out of business like WCW or drop like TNA did. I want to see them stay up there as the number 2 wrestling company. I want to see them close the gap with WWE. But we'll see how that happens in the next couple of years, especially if Warner Brothers Discovery gets bought out and then AEW's contract with them is up in 2027. When that happens, where is AEW going to be? Is it still going to be on HBO Max? Or we're going to see them have to go elsewhere because they don't have the revenue as the others do. And then we'll see how TNA goes this year and see if they close the gap with AEW. So TNA ain't far off from AEW, honestly. They're not. We'll see how they progress in 2026. But TNA ain't that far off. They get around 1,000 to 2,000 in attendance too at their weekly shows. And now seeing this, what the AMC deal, we'll see how that goes from there when they attract more viewers and they attract more casual viewers. So if you're an AEW fan, you just got to be honest with yourself about these things. You cannot just ignore this and shrug your shoulders like, yeah, it's all right. I'm still a fan. Yeah, I'm still a fan too. I love AEW, and I will always speak positive AEW. And even if I critique AEW, it'll still be in a positive manner. But you got to be honest with yourself about these things. Is the company garbage? No, it's good. It's a really good wrestling show. Really good wrestling show for the wrestling fan. But if you want to attract more viewers to the company, then you got to change it up. You got to change it up. You got to do something that'll draw the casual viewer. You got to do something. And that means changing up how you do things and changing up how you do things so you can be that number 2 company. And that's just my thoughts. Let me know what you think. What do you think of Dynamite Collision? Let me know what you think of some of these opinions that I've had. Comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification button. Comment what you think. Share this review. Let me know what you let others chime in, and we'll see what happens this week on Maximum Carnage with Dynamite. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for that title match with Bandido and MJF. And there's a few. I'm ready for Kenny Omega to return this week. That's right, Kenny Omega is returning this week. You got some great matches set up for this week on Maximum Carnage, so I'm excited. Love all y'all. Appreciate everyone chiming in. And just remember, everyone, love professional wrestling. Have a good night.
Yeah! From the first bell to the last stand. This is for every fan who loves it. I am Dr. Love. And this is Aaron Love's Wrestling. Yeah! Turn the lights on, hear the crowd ignite. Heartbeat pounds on a Friday night. From the territory days to the modern age, every ring's a war, from every match to every stage. I grew up on legends, I learned to believe in heroes, villains, the blood, and you can see the love I have. It is all on my sleeve, from Dusty Rose to Saturday Night Collision. New Japan battles, hearts on fire. From the Tokyo Dome to Arena, Mexico, in every zone, every style's a kingdom, every ring is a throne. Give away to AEW, every New Japan pride. AA live on the way, AEW, A on the rise. Different banners, but the same love and passion pounding in us all. Aaron loves wrestling. Every brand, it doesn't matter about the three letters. From the local hall to the global star. Oh my God, that sound. When the entrance hits, we are all ready to start. Aaron loves wrestling. Side by side. No tribal lines, just love for the business worldwide. This is wrestling. This is wrestling. Cuddy fights for the dreams of us all in red, white, blue. Hangman doesn't stay down, he is always fighting for redemption. Mox bleeds for the business, bringing out the passion in us all. Okada is the rainmaker, the money rains down with every title reign. Cena's never giving up the fight. Fear strikes in the heart of man when Undertaker appears. Sting is the vigilante that every villain fears. Legends will always be remembered, they never retire in our hearts. They will live on forever. From Flair to Michaels, from Hogan to Cena, from Omega's rise to acknowledging lanes. Different paths but the same damn ring, same damn love for professional wrestling. Say it loud, I love wrestling. Say it proud, I love wrestling. No hate, no tribalism. Just love for the business until the end of time. No warriors on your chest. If you love this business, then you're the best. No keyboard warriors, no hate, no lies. Just respect when the warriors rise. From the curtain rise to the final pin, we all are chasing that moment when the bell rings. It's more than title belts, it's more than glory. It's our love for professional wrestling in every story. So pull your hearts up, it's all one love. Every fan's got a place. From every city to every nation, we're united by a love for professional wrestling. Aaron loves wrestling. Hear the crowd with every chant, every heartbeat, and with every tear. Aaron loves wrestling. This is our life. From the rise of a hero to the falling of wrestling. Never ends. From the opening bell to the final ring. Aaron loves wrestling. We all just love listening. AEW, no more hate. Just love professional wrestling. AEW. The American Cowboy will always ride for this. Dr. Love will always share the love of professional wrestling. For every ring, every wrestler, and every fan. One word, one passion, one truth that I'm confessing.